Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lord of the Night. I don't know where my co-hosts are. I sent them the link about 15 minutes ago, and they haven't shown up. So either they've just decided not to show, or DMs are broken again. I suppose the latter is probably more likely, but I don't know. So, yeah. Hello, chat. Hello, everyone. Hope you're all having a good evening so far. We'll see how the rest of the evening goes. Thank you. This is Kyle before we began. Hello, chat people in Lawton. Hello. So, how y'all doing? I'm great. I'm glad. Yeah, that's good. Hey, Satsu. What up, doe? Hi, monkey. Hey, everybody. I'm falling down the stairs. This is going to be very awkward. Okay, well, I am going to email the link to my wonderful co-hosts. DMs aren't working. Great, wonderful. Well, let's see if we can rectify that real quick. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Oh boy, live TV, everyone. Welcome to live television. So, Monkey, I'm going to email you the link to the thing and the stuff. And do I have, let's see. No, wait. That can't be your email address. That doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound, wait. Is that your email address? No, that can't be right. Boy, live TV, everyone. Live TV. There we go. Monkey at there. Okay. And do I have Satsu's email address by any chance? I do. Okay, let's try this. Okay, well, momentarily, purportedly, I'll have co-hosts. Thank you, Jaeger Pony. Pity monies for Lonely Scribe. Yes, well, lonely is what I do. But everyone, welcome to the show for the next hour and 58 minutes, 55 minutes. There might be a whole show going on. Hope you're all well. I'm doing okay. I had a relatively quiet day of working from home and then doing a TEDx talk. We'll talk about that later. Hello, Satsu.
Yo.
Welcome to the show.
Twitter's fucking up again, I guess.
Yeah, I sent it out at the usual time, and I was just kind of waiting and watching the clock go down. I thought, okay, well, either they're just taking their time, or I figured, well, sending you more messages and DMs probably useless, but yeah. So anyway, all's well that ends well. Now we just need Monkey to get in here, and we'll be fine. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Because of what happened last time, though, the first thing I did as soon as 9 o'clock hit is went to your YouTube channel to see if it was up, and I'm like, okay. All right.
Yeah. Thank you, Snubberth. Welcome to the Scribe Show. Well, only for a couple of minutes. A rare event. Not that I don't have any experience lately with talking to myself effectively, but that is what it is. And then there was a monkey.
Dear God.
Yeah, well, one of those nights.
Why do they keep doing this to us at 9?
I don't know. Holy cats. Thank you, John Harrell. Funny how Dr. Erickson's video about antibody testing was yanked by YouTube because it, quote, violates WHO. I heard something about that happening. Do you guys know anything about that?
I haven't watched the whole video yet, but I'm not shocked. YouTube is going specifically on WHO, so anybody going against it, even a doctor, yeah, good luck.
That's just bizarre. But let's slightly start over. Joining me as always is your Lord of Pain, the Ranting Monkey.
Hi guys, sorry I'm late. Not my fault.
It isn't his fault. And the Lord of Pennies, Satsu 2 cents.
It's not my fault either, but I'm sure you guys will blame me anyway.
Well,
it's always Satsu's fault.
Thank you, Lion Patriot. Ain't no way no black man would be time traveling into the past.
Fair enough.
Well, It's fiction, y'all. And I'm the DeLorean in that picture, if you're wondering where I am. Monkey, how was your day?
I slept through it.
Sounds
Since
exciting.
I've been awake, it's been okay.
Okay, that's good. I'm happy for that. Satsu, how are you?
Wonder great. It's been a very boring but not annoying day. So I'm happy.
You guys are both the inspiration that lifts my wings.
Good.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to be wind.
Right. Okay. Well, anyway, Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies, video games. Hit that like button if you haven't already, and I can see that many of you haven't because you're disappointed in the beginning of the show, and I understand. But I've done my best to rectify the situation. Please at least recognize my efforts to fix the problem when I saw there was a problem. And please share our stuff. If rumors be true, and I don't doubt that they probably are in some way, shape, or form, YouTube cares about us smaller creators even less than they used to.
Oh. Are you going to talk about what I think you're talking about?
Yeah, maybe. Well, I mean, if that story is true, I mean, I haven't seen it reported elsewhere, so unless you've got something else that more corroborates it. But either way, we know that small timers like ourselves are not exactly anyone that YouTube really cares about at the end of the day. So if you like our content, if you like the content of any content creator out there, honestly, that isn't some million subscriber network-backed celebrity, be sure to share their stuff. Tell other people about it. I will I'll pay it forward slightly with a channel that I like a lot. It's called Cynic Snacks. He does these bad movie reviews, amongst other things. He's hilarious. He's got animations and all types of jokes and gags in his videos, and it's great. And that is my channel endorsement of the day. I think I'm going to try. I know I've said this probably in the past. I'm going to try to do that more often and try to promote channels that I like, just because I think it's the right thing to do. You guys got any nominees off the top of your head?
You know what? Tonight I'm going to go with Chatmore. Because she's great, and if you're not watching her, check her out. Also, your boy Pat's Psycho Rick channel.
Nope. Satsu.
I've been watching a lot of Box Soup. He does speed runs, Resident Evil speed runs mainly, or just horror games in general. Speed run. That is my videos of choice whenever I'm just fucking around.
How do you spell that?
BAWKSOUP.
Got it. All right then. Well, guys, let's get right into the news.
No. That's right.
Okay, then by all means, offer the alternative.
We can get right into the news, just not like that.
Oh. Okay. Well then, let's listen to me read schnuzz.
Yay!
This isn't a story so much as just I'm loving the completely cynical, dour, depressing comparisons that CNN loves to make. COVID-19 has killed at least 211,000 worldwide, more than 58,000. Wait, sorry. That's not the one. There it is. Sorry, I apologize. It was right above it. The corona death toll is now greater than U.S. losses in Vietnam. Like, what? Wow. Okay. Why? Should I read the story attached to that headline? Do we want to know why that's a comparison that needed to be made?
Well, we know why, because somebody was bored and needed an article to write.
Or they wanted to draw a line to a complete and total failure of American foreign policy and try to equate that to a pandemic.
Well, of course.
Let's see, who wrote this thing? It took 3 people to write this.
Yeah.
Of course it did.
Oh, for crying out loud. Okay, well, just for credit where credit is due. Steve Almasi, Christina Maxoris, and Nicole Chavez.
What? Was that 3 women? I didn't hear the first name.
Not unless Steve is a woman.
Oh, yeah, I didn't hear that one.
Okay. As some researchers say deaths could rise significantly in coming weeks, the number of confirmed coronavirus cases in the United States has topped 1 million, supposedly. And the death toll has surpassed the total of U.S. troop fatalities during the Vietnam War. As of Tuesday afternoon, there are more than 1 million people in the United States who have or have had the virus, according to a tally from health officials by Johns Hopkins University. At least 58,365 people have died, purportedly, from the virus, is what I mean. A total of 58,220 Americans died during the war in Vietnam, where fighting lasted more than 10 years. Guys, it's almost like a pandemic disease can be more ravenous to people than a prolonged war.
It's weird how people die in a pandemic.
Yeah, it's also weird how that number could be so inflated, given that they're including people that probably didn't actually die of the disease.
Yeah,
I just wanted to point out that just so you guys have something to compare it to. Just pull a particular historical number out of the air. Just no particular reason why. Just
Weren't they comparing it to Vietnam like a couple weeks ago already though? Was that when they were talking about how many might die, maybe?
I know that they compared it to 9/11 right off the bat within like a couple of weeks or something. I can't recall if we did read or talk about something regarding Vietnam before. I don't remember it.
No, I want to say, that we'd already actually mentioned this, and it's weird for CNN to be bringing it up again, because maybe it's got to be that's what they were talking about, possibility. Because
we're approaching a historical threshold or something.
Yeah.
Like that, I guess. Anyway, but yeah, just that particular number for that particular historical period and event. I just thought it was interesting. But in other news, what's the date again? Is it
today?
What's today? April 28th. Yeah, in 2020 in the election year. Well. Yes. Justin Amash announces Presidential Exploratory Committee.
Who the fuck is that?
Well, it's funny that you asked that, Monkey, because he's independent U.S. Representative Justin Amash of Michigan.
Okay.
Your own politician. He launched a website announcing he has formed an exploratory committee for a presidential campaign. Let's do this, Amash said in a tweet. And that's all the story was at the time that I loaded it up. I don't know if it has updated that since then. Let's see. Yes, it has. Quote, Americans are ready for practical approaches based in humility and trust of the people, he said in his announcement. Quote, we're ready for a presidency that will restore respect for our Constitution and bring people together. I'm excited and honored to be taking these first steps towards serving Americans of every background as president, unquote. Well, if you became president, you'd be serving everyone whether you wanted to or not. Mostly.
That's how it works.
Except for the party that you're not allied to. If you're an independent, you got nowhere to go. Angry Illinoisian, thank you. With this article, I would like to ask them what my mother died of. She had pneumonia, suffering from heart problems and diabetes.
That's obviously corona.
I mean, I hope that's. I'm sorry. I don't. No. I don't mean to make light. It's if there's one set of people in my life that I've been most concerned about, regardless of all the other things we've talked about, it's been my parents. They both have medical problems that preceded all of this and everything else, and it's just, it's a splash of cold water. I hate thinking about, but it's one of those things. So my sympathies, Illinoisian.
Indeed.
Thank you, Mr. Scott. Hold on to your seat. We're approaching a historical threshold. Yeah, another one, I'm sure. Professor Chaos, he's a libertarian that left the Republican Party after voting with Democrats on articles of impeachment. That's why I knew the name. I thought he sounded familiar.
Oh, that dude. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So he's got no friends, basically. Let's see. His potential entry into the race comes after more than a year of deliberation. I guess so. I didn't even know he was thinking about doing it, or if I did, I forgot, because announcing this in April.
Yeah, it's a weird time to announce.
Yeah, because all the debates are over with. You're not going to get percentages enough to qualify for any upcoming presidential debates, and the press and the parties are not going to back you because the Democrats are locked into Biden, the Republicans are locked into Trump, and anybody down the middle is either lamenting over Bernie dropping out or staying home. So
maybe it's just to get some recognition. He's like there's no way in hell that I'm gonna make even a fucking splash.
Yeah,
drip. But my name will be out there for a while, so that's cool.
Yeah, I suppose at this point he's got nothing to lose, sort of, except tons of money that might be donated to him for some reason. Thank you, Professor Chaos, again. His overall voting record is really good, and he posts his reason for each vote online for voters to see it. He might be a very fine politician, a good guy. I don't know, but I'm just being sort of, cynical about his chances. But yeah, pragmatically cynical about his chances. Yeah. At this late date, all things considered, it's kind of a pointless gesture. So I don't know, but that's a thing that happened. Let's see. In other news, you guys like meat?
I really do.
Satsu, you like meat?
Yeast.
Yeast?
Yeast.
Okay. Well, not sure the relevance of that, but Trump signs executive order to keep meat processing plants open.
I'm surprised it took that long, actually, because we're seeing the effects of this already.
President Trump has signed an executive order that mandates meat processing plants must stay open, an official said. Aides said the order would fall under the Defense Production Act. Trump has highlighted the order during the Oval Office meeting with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis that was opened up to reporters. Quote, "We're going to sign an executive order today, I believe, and that'll solve any liability problems," Trump said on Tuesday. The president signed the order after some complaints, such as Tyson Foods, were considering only keeping 20% of their facilities open. The vast majority of processing plants could have shut down, which would have reduced processing capacity in the country by as much as 80%, an official familiar with the order told CNN. By signing the order, Trump has declared these plants as part of critical infrastructure to the U.S. The administration is also working with the Department of Labor on issuing guidance about which employees who work at these meat processing facilities should remain home, including workers who are part of populations most vulnerable to the coronavirus. If you have your 65-year-old heart patient worker, you should probably stay home. Just saying. What else is going on in coronavirus world? Oh, let's see. Greece is going to ease some of their lockdown restrictions. Putin acknowledges shortfalls in protective equipment for healthcare workers. And I had been told that Russia was like perfect, had no cases whatsoever, etc. Thank you, Jordan Edwardson. Dogcat Fox, how's it going? It goes. It goes. Yeah. Okay. I don't have now. There was a story floating out there. I don't have it in front of me that China's threatening Australia or something right now.
Really? For what?
I saw something like that.
Yeah, let's see. Here it is. Okay. Maybe this is it. Australia called gum stuck to China's shoe by state media in coronavirus investigation stoush. I assume stoush is some slang term in Britain or the UK for something. Australia has been described as gum stuck to the bottom of China's shoe by a Chinese state media editor as Beijing criticized calls for an inquiry into the coronavirus origin as, quote, political maneuvering, unquote, further straining ties between the two countries. Australia has emerged as one of the most vocal critics of Beijing as it calls for an investigation into the origins and spread of the virus, which emerged in China late last year and has now killed more than 200,000 people around the world. Late on Monday, Hu Zhijin, the editor of the state-run Global Times, wrote on Weibo, W-E-I-B-O, Weibo, that ties between Australia and its largest trading partner, China, were likely to deteriorate as much as relations between Beijing and Washington had. criticizing Australia for joining the U.S. in its attacks on China. Yeah, attacks, wanting to know the truth of things. Who wrote, who's on first? Quote, after the epidemic, we need to have more risk awareness when doing business with Australia and also when we send our children to study there. Australia is always there, making trouble. It is a bit like chewing gum stuck to the sole of China's shoes. Sometimes you have to find a stone to rub it off.
Yikes.
You're going to rub off Australia, huh?
You're going to rub it out with a stone, you say? Whose comments echo that of China's ambassador to Australia, Zhang Cheng, who told Australian media at the weekend, that pushing for an inquiry could result in a boycott of the country's goods. Quote, maybe the ordinary people will say, why should we drink Australian wine, eat Australian beef, Cheng told the Australian Financial Review. Australian wine. Is Australian wine? I've never had Australian wine. I assume it tastes like wine.
Yeah, that's a stretch.
Australian beef. Isn't that just like koala bear?
It's like Foster's.
Oh, Australian for beef? Okay. Well, anyway. So trade war with Australia because Australia wants to know China's responsibility in the whole thing, which China, of course, it's an attack on China. How dare you blame us for a virus that prominently originated in our country? In a town with a biological research center. How dare you? How dare you make such aspersions against us?
That is, when you put it that way, it's significant. Hilarious.
Never mind the Umbrella Corporation symbol on the sign.
All right.
Pure
It's
coincidence.
blue. It's blue. It's not red. There's a difference. Or aquamarine or whatever it was. In other news, CNN has done another story on Tara Reid.
Oh?
I mean, 2 days. I don't know what to say.
And how much you want to bet that half of it is about Trump?
Well, let's find out. Tara Reid's ex-neighbor says Reid told her about Joe Biden's sexual assault allegation in the 1990s.
Damn, this bitch told everybody but the cops.
A former neighbor of Tara Reid, a woman who has accused Joe Biden of sexual assault, has come forward to say that Reid told her about the alleged assault in the mid-1990s. The account, purportedly told to the neighbor within a few years of the alleged incident, marks the first detailed and on-the-record corroboration of Reid's allegation against the presumptive Democratic nominee for president. What about her brother? Her brother backed it up. Maybe that's too nepotistic for you. I don't know. Linda Lacasse told CNN in a phone interview Monday that she remembers stepping out of her 2-bedroom home in Morro Bay, California to sneak in a cigarette break away from her children. It was 1995, perhaps even early 1996, based on her recollection. Lacasse said she often sat outside on her stoop smoking Virginia Slims, and that on this particular day she cried as she discussed with Reid a custody battle for her kids. Reid began to cry too, Lacasse said. Quote, she started talking about Joe Biden, and I didn't really know much about Joe Biden, she said. Lacasse said that Reid told her that when she was working in Washington some years prior, Biden had, quote, pushed her up against a wall, and he had put his hand up her skirt, and he put his fingers inside her, and she was dealing with the aftermath of that, unquote. Thank you, Shrouded Angel, for lemon and lime, and lemon gives lime a little present. Oh, I wonder what's in the box. What's in the box? Any guesses? What's in the box? If it's a juicer, I think that's inappropriate.
Yeah, that's a little fucked up.
That would be.
Is that a weird way to tell him to kill himself?
I'm like, here, I got you a juicer. Oh my God.
My mom died from one of those.
No! Let's see. The Biden campaign has denied Reid's allegation that Biden sexually assaulted her in 1993 when she was an aide in his Senate office. Asked for comment about Lacasse's account, the Biden campaign referred to a statement previously released by Deputy Campaign Manager Kate Bedingfield, which is the exact same thing we talked about yesterday. The allegation comes as Biden is preparing to take on President Donald Trump in the general election. More than a dozen women have leveled allegations against Trump.
I told you.
Good job, Satsu. Yeah, I mean, we had to get to like deep into the middle of the article before they brought him up, but there you go.
Now, I might have missed it, so I'm going to ask. Did they mention how many people have accused Biden up until this point?
Just Reed.
Not in this article, no.
Not so far.
So they mentioned Trump's amount before they mentioned. Oh, okay.
Now I got
priorities straight.
I got to mention something. As far as I can see, and this is a long article, that is the only point at which they bring up Trump. Okay. Everything else is a recitation of what has been said so far about the Reed allegations and so on. But right there in the middle, just for a little paragraph, remember, guys, President Trump was accused of such things too.
Now you should look for the number 7 and see if they mention how many people accused Biden.
Yeah. But yeah, so at this point, there's been at least, if you count the mother calling in to Larry King, and Reed's brother, and this neighbor, and I think there was one other person. Yeah, there was a CNN interviewed a friend of Reed over the weekend. She asked to remain anonymous. So at least 4 people, in one way, shape, or form, at least corroborate the timing of her allegation. From the 90s, and the Larry King phone call probably being the most interesting of them all, which is still, it's amazing that it wasn't CNN that first reported that. It was like The Intercept or something, when it was CNN's own archival footage. But, we got to keep, I guess, protecting Biden from himself. How long can they keep that up, do you think?
The whole election.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. As long as they want, as long as the media and everybody, as long as they're all on board, then they can do this until he gets elected or loses.
Let's see. It's really kind of all these stories that I had. Did you guys know of anything exciting going on today?
Again, I was asleep all day. The only other one, do you have the article from the about the Zoom from Mr. What's his name? Nolan, whatever the fuck.
Oh, the YouTube guy?
Yeah.
I have it here. Didn't you tweet it out? You did.
I did.
Okay, well, let me find that. It wasn't that long ago, was it? Holy cats.
No, it wasn't.
Then I'm going to have to go to your feed because I can't find it. So let's go over to Ramping Monkey. There we go. Okay. So, and as the person who sent this to Monkey.
Shady Grin.
Yeah, Shady Grin. So this is just keep the source in mind because I've never heard of this website either. But it's from reclaimthenet.org, which sounds completely unbiased, but who knows. The headline is YouTube. Creators espousing opinions in their basement can't provide context on the news.
Yeah.
So now, first off, I don't have a basement. I'm in an apartment, so I don't apply here. Just so you know. Neil Mohan, the chief product officer of YouTube, the platform that was created to let anyone with a camera have a voice, has suggested that independent YouTubers who share their opinion on the news can't provide context and said that this is why they need to be suppressed and censored when it comes to newsworthy topics. I'm waiting for a quote here. Mohan made the comments during an interview with Protocol's editor-at-large David Pierce when he was asked about whether health authorities changing their advice about the coronavirus, such as the way they change their recommendations around masks, is causing YouTube to be, quote, slightly behind, unquote, when it comes to moderating content. In his response, Mohan said that the changing guidance on masks reflects how, quote, the actual underlying information is changing in a fundamental way really rapidly, unquote. He then said that this is the reason authoritative voices need to be boosted on YouTube. Quote, this is the reason why I feel really strongly that when users are looking for this information, making sure that we're raising up authoritative voices is important because the way that the question around masks would have been covered by a credible sort of authoritative voice/channel is that there would be context, there would be explanations behind why a particular mask decision is made or not, and so the user, the viewer of that content on our platform, can make an informed decision for him or herself, unquote. Okay. Mohan went on to compare authoritative content to content from other creators and suggested that these other creators don't provide the same level of context as mainstream media outlets and medical professionals. Quote, as opposed to, it's somebody espousing their opinions about a mask, in their basement. This is coming from an authoritative channel, a news source, a medical professional, and if that's the case, we think there's going to be some context that's provided around the question of masks. And even if that guidance changes, it will be reflected in sort of how an authoritative voice or channel talks about it, unquote. Not only did Mohan suggest that only authoritative sources can provide context on coronavirus-related news stories, but he also used this rationale as justification for censoring other creators. Quote, that's where falling back to really raising up authoritative channels, videos from authoritative channels is important, and at the same time removing or reducing views of the videos where that same level of authority hasn't been established, unquote.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you, Piccolo. I don't like that word, authoritative. Well,
he uses it a lot.
In context, it's correct, but yeah, it is a little interesting how he's making use of that. Mohan's comments exemplify how the changes YouTube has made in relation to the coronavirus and news coverage have made it almost impossible for independent creators to cover current events, even when the mainstream media outlets that are being raised up have a track record of getting it wrong. When it comes to covering the coronavirus, YouTube CEO Susan Wojcicki recently stated that, quote, anything that would go against WHO recommendations is a violation of our policy, unquote, a policy change that was slammed by one platform's most popular podcasters, Joe Rogan. One platform?
One of the platforms, yeah.
It just says one platform, but okay.
Yeah.
And when it comes to covering the news in general, YouTube has admitted that it won't recommend YouTubers for breaking news and that authoritative sources are 10 times more likely to top search results for some news events. Yeah. So remember, guys, if there's a creator you like, YouTube ain't going to tell anybody that they exist, especially if they're talking about current events. Like, I don't know. We do.
I read that shit. I actually reached out to, what's his name? Nolan, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'll get back to me on the Twitter because I want to find out if he actually said this shit. Because I got a bone to pick with him. Both on this show and Monkey in the Morning, we get the story right far more than CNN does. And CNN is considered an authoritative voice. Then go fuck themselves. This is a guy, those people in their basements, they're just stupid. Fuck you, dude. Those people in the basements are why you have a job, dickhead.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Jaeger Pony. In this instance, authoritative equates to approved, in my opinion. Well, you see, Jaeger, your opinion doesn't matter. You're sitting in your basement, I'm assuming, so.
Man. Like I said, this stuff always sounds to me like, look, you guys are making it harder for us to control the narrative, and we don't want any competition. You're supposed to listen to everything that we say, so we need to, find a way to silence all those people who may be saying things different than us, because we want to control the narrative.
Well, the logo needs to be changed to WeTube.
Right.
It's not YouTube anymore. It's not broadcast yourself. It's we will broadcast to you what we approve.
Yep.
And that's it. Now, who cares about you, quote unquote, small, unauthoritative creators? It's all about what we say now is true or accurate or valuable. Having a platform for Joe Schmo, no. We're just basically network television again.
The part that annoyed me the most is they can't provide context.
Right.
Okay, let's say that there's a fact out there and the whole world has it wrong. I can provide just as much context on whatever that fucking fact is as CNN can, as MSNBC, as Fox, as any of these fuckers that they're like, no, this is an authoritative voice. All right, let me on with Stelter. Let's have a discussion about one of these things. Let's see which one of us can actually make a coherent argument that makes fucking sense. It's like, I will put money on myself every time.
Mm-hmm.
They will too. I think.
You can't provide the context. What do you know? You're just a dummy in your basement. Suck me. When I do Monkey in the Morning, guys, I will be ranting about this for quite a while.
And there will be context around the rant.
There'll be lots of context, man.
Yeah, I can give you all the context in the world. I can read the story and I can give you my take on it. I'm just like the Young Turks.
But
I mean, no, we're no less context driven than that, you know. Anyway, anything else, guys, or shall we move on to the wonderful world of MSS News, for which we are not able to provide context, but you know we can try.
We can move on. That was the only thing I even saw today. So
let's do at Fucketry time. Let's just go off on that a little bit more, shall we?
Sure.
Excuse me. All right, guys, if you have news stories you would like us to read on the air, please send them to us via Twitter using the hashtag MSS News. Can't promise to get to them all, but that's because I can't provide context. That's going to be just going like the running gag of the night, I think. Let's see. This one comes from the original Shroom.
Tues.
Police investigating death of Arizona man from chloroquine. Is this old? No, this is not old. Okay. Thank you, Willett Forge. For shame, Monk. Stelter, low-hanging fruit.
All right, give me the high-hanging fruit over there.
Okay, I skipped that. Mesa City PD opens homicide investigation into death of Gary Linnaeus, whose wife, Wanda, said she served him a deadly cocktail to ward off coronavirus.
Yes! Get that bitch.
Is this the fish tank guy?
Yes.
Oh, it is. Okay. The Mesa City Police Department's Homicide Division is investigating the death of Gary Linnaeus. Anyway, the Arizona man whose wife served him soda mixed with fish tank cleaner in what she claimed was a bid to fend off the coronavirus. Oh, I thought my understanding was he willingly downed this stuff.
She talked him into it and put it in his drink.
It's
her story.
She says she talked him into it.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Interesting. John Harrell, thank you so much. Ever since the 1993 Communications Act, so-called news is just driven by what will draw eyes and ad dollars. It's true.
Yeah, it's not,
and obviously, since we don't draw eyes because YouTube's not giving them to us, and we can't advertise or have ads on our stuff, we're a free and independent news as compared to CNN. Sort of, right? Kind of. Yeah. At least as much as Young Turks. A detective handling the case confirmed the investigation to the Washington Free Beacon on Tuesday after requesting a recording of the Free Beacon's interviews with Linnaeus' wife, Wanda. Gary Linnaeus, 68, died on March 22nd. Wanda, 61, told several news outlets last month that both she and her husband had ingested a substance used to clean aquariums after hearing President Donald Trump tout one of its ingredients, chloroquine phosphate, from the White House briefing room. Detective Teresa Van... What?
No, I'm just like, it's like hitting me just now, the implications.
See, I was under the impression that he lived long enough to tell what was going on before he died or something. Maybe that was part of her story or something. I don't know. Everything
we know came from her.
Okay. This is how deeply I looked into the story at the time, aside from the...
I've been following it.
Okay. Detective Teresa Van Galder, the homicide detective handling the case for the Mesa City Police Department, confirmed that the investigation is ongoing, but declined to provide additional details. Quote, as this is an active investigation, I cannot go into any details, blah, 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 blah. Though, let's see, news of the police probe comes after a series of Free Beacon stories raised questions about the portrayal of the couple in the initial NBC News report that vaulted the story onto the national stage. Though that report and others suggested the couple mindlessly followed the president's medical advice to disastrous results, friends of Gary Linnaeus told the Free Beacon they were skeptical he would knowingly ingest fish tank treatment. Rather, they described Linnaeus as a level-headed retired engineer and recounted a troubled marital relationship that included a previous domestic assault charge against his wife, of which he was ultimately found not guilty. The Free Beacon also reported that Wanda Linnaeus was a Democratic donor whose most recent contribution went to a pro-science super PAC. Okay. Thank you, Angry Larson. Didn't say she heard it from China. not Trump.
Well, it depends on which story you listen to, Angry Illinoisan.
Yeah, because she specifically said from China. You guys, because you remember I brought that up because we were talking about it or whatever. But every fucking headline said she got it from Trump. That's what the media said.
There's two different stories. The ones that they talk about was at the LA Times. I forget what the first one was, but that the Free Beacon one is where she let slip. Oops, I watched stories from China that said it was good. Yeah.
China.
Yeah, you're right, Satsu, but it's because it depends on which story you read about it. Because the New York Times, whatever the other one was, didn't mention it. Oh, NBC. Sorry, NBC. Right. They didn't mention it at all.
Nope.
All right. Well, I put the link in the chat. It's a long story. I got other story here, but I'm sure Monkey or someone else will. Well, wait. Now you can't provide context. What are you doing?
Oh, I can't provide context, but I can laugh my ass off at the story tonight.
Oh, okay.
I do wonder if this turns out to be true. If this bitch ends up going to jail for killing her husband. All of those people who said Donald Trump made this happen. Do you think any of them are going to come out and go, "I'm sorry, Mr. Trump"?
Nope.
I apologize for accusing you of getting somebody killed because I'm a moron.
Nope. I mean, why is it that the Free Beacon's reporting has to be the one that actually spurred on more questions?
Mm-hmm.
Not MSNBC, not NBC, not CNN, none of the big places, because, guys, they're not investigators. They're journalists.
Yeah. This has put me, I'm sorry, it sucks that this guy's dead, but this has put me in a really good mood. Because we've been talking about this on Monkey in the Morning on several shows. Like, that bitch killed him.
Dude, I've been going nuts over on Facebook about all this fake news and shit that's been going around. And people have actively been, like, commenting and paying attention. People who I know to be, like, liberal as fuck. Mm-hmm. They're like, dude, we're starting to see it. I'm about to have a field day.
Okay, I'm writing a story for Medium now. Minor YouTube celebrity celebrates man's murder.
Who sent that in? Because they deserve a gold star. Thank you for sending that one in.
Yeah. Now my phone is beeping at me because, of course, it is. Probably did it before and I missed it. Good, I don't have to leave. All right, this one comes from Sir Quack, and it is a Reuters. Excuse me?
It gave me a context boner.
That's gross.
I have no idea what's going on right now. Context boners and belching, who then says that's gross. Like, okay, Biden, seeking support of women, wins Hillary Clinton's endorsement.
Oh, shit.
Hillary's got great taste in men.
Okay, so Bernie losing plus Hillary Clinton's endorsement.
Yes.
This is going to be interesting.
Presumptive Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden won the endorsement. I'm going to underline that word. Won the endorsement on Tuesday of Hillary Clinton for the office she fell short of winning in her 2016. Fell short of winning in 2016 in her bid. Okay, to become the first woman elected as U.S. president, right? The endorsement at an online town hall on the effects of the coronavirus crisis on women. Did anybody bring up Tara Reid at that town hall, I wonder? Probably not.
You know damn well they didn't.
Came at a critical moment as Biden aims to raise his profile with female voters and other key demographic groups, even as the pandemic ravages the U.S. economy. You're not going to bring up Tara Reid in that same context of women? Oh, sorry, context. What am I doing? Clinton, a one-time Secretary of State, U.S. Senator from New York, and First Lady, suffered an upset defeat in the 2016 presidential election. Well, she's still upset, that's true, to Republican Donald Trump, despite winning the popular vote. Yes, you know why that is, don't you, Reuters? Because we don't elect by popular vote. She also lost the 2008 Democratic presidential race to Barack Obama, whom Biden served as vice president. She must be humiliated. Biden, who has vowed to pick a woman as his running mate this year, introduced Clinton at the town hall as the person who should now be president. That's not a quote. That's just Reuters.
Yes. Well, at least the statement matched the stupidity of the sentence. As
the person who should now be president. Clinton told the former vice president, quote, I am thrilled to be part of your campaign to not only endorse you, but to help highlight a lot of the issues that are at stake in this presidential election, unquote. That sounds like people naturally talking as they would just having a conversation.
Sounds right to me.
And how many people are surprised by this?
Not me, no.
Yeah, I not surprised. Don't particularly care. I would have been surprised if they brought up the allegations against him at a town hall regarding women and safety and etc.
I find it absolutely baffling that anytime he mentions women publicly, that he is just not fucking bombarded with comments like that. Like the fact that he can talk to what is considered female activists with these allegations going on and not even like the question isn't even raised, like it isn't even implied, is fascinating to me.
Well, I mean, right now, he and his campaign have absolute control over who he talks to because he's coming from the basement of his house. He only has to dial into those people in those interviews that they agree to. And let's be honest, most of the media is not bothering to bring it up because I don't know, because there are a couple of things probably. One, they want to get in good with a potential presidential president. Two, they're politically biased to begin with. Or three, somehow they think it's their responsibility not to give Trump an edge, which isn't what you're supposed to do as a reporter. It's supposedly, it's like you're picking sides. Like, well, I can't possibly besmirch Biden because that might give Trump the possibility of winning again. And we can't have that because I'm a journalist.
Remember, a lot of them blame themselves for Trump winning.
And they'd be right, kind of, but not.
Well, specifically just for giving him any kind of coverage.
But that's exactly how they did it. They gave him coverage. And what are they doing? Here's the thing. By not asking Biden these questions, it's one of those, it's the Streisand effect. Everybody's seeing that they're not doing that. And everybody who isn't them is saying, hey, what about this? It's going to come up. So it's not going away. Anyway, let's see. Well, let's get back to old school MSS News, because this one comes from Frosted Glass. It's Medium, under their equality heading, with a headline that reads, Unpacking White Privilege During a Pandemic.
Oh, fuck off.
Friday, March 13th. I woke up nervous. I had scheduled the day off to take 2 exams, both necessary to be certified in Louisiana as a pre-K. Third grade teacher. Oh, sorry, pre-K through third grade teacher. Weird that they arranged that. Although my degrees are in social work and public health, you don't have an education background? Okay. I have been teaching early education for 5 years, all right, both overseas and in the U.S. I am currently a fellow in an alternative teacher certification program.
Okay.
This sounds dangerous.
Called Teach NOLA, or New Orleans. And these exams were the final leap toward a long-held goal. I had studied. I had even made flashcards. Ooh, but the morning air felt supercharged with an anxiety that wasn't test-related. 2 nights before, the NBA had canceled the rest of their season. The night before, I had gone to Walmart with hundreds of others and stocked up on non-perishable food, enough for my partner and I to make it through 2 weeks if we needed to. The aisles of Walmart were thinning. No cold medicine, no thermometers, and no cleaning supplies. There were long lines, but there was no mass hysteria or consensus on what we should all be doing or feeling. Okay. Some people had 2 carts full of food and supplies. Some people had a single case of beer. When's the other shoe going to drop here? I drove to the sparsely populated University of New Orleans campus that morning. Classes had already been moved online. Turned off both my personal and work phones. Put all my things in a small locker and spent the next 5.5 hours in front of a computer answering multiple choice questions. Sounds intense. I finished the exams, handed in my pencil and scratch paper, and walked out of the testing center. My stomach wouldn't stop churning. I knew that I had to turn my phones back on, but felt reality beginning to waver. What? So I stalled. I walked over Lakeshore Drive and sat down on a bench. This is just absolutely enthralling, lady. Good God, I have to listen to the weirdest anecdotes when I do those TEDx things. You take the cake. I sat down on a bench to stare at the massive and mesmerizing Lake Pontchartrain. I wrote a few thoughts in a notebook. Quote, is this the moment we know it's real? Was Tuesday the last time I will sit in a restaurant without fear? When will it infect the people that I know? When will it happen to me? Unquote. When I finally pushed the button and my screen lit up, I had text messages and emails informing me that the governor of Louisiana had canceled school for the next month. I walked back, started the car, and turned on the radio. Trump's voice droned through the speakers, declaring a national emergency. I honestly care nothing of where this is going. I'm going to skip down a little bit.
Going anywhere?
I don't know, but so she, my partner and I started fighting. Okay, below is our conversation. Whose conversation? I think it's her and her partner. Okay, I'm assuming her and her partner. Okay, her. I'm assuming. What am I missing because of my white privilege in this? In your opinion, what are white people not feeling? This is to her African-American partner, by the way. So her male partner is black. So he says, I think that white people aren't understanding the inherent fears black people have. I want to make it clear that black people aren't a monolith, and I am only speaking as myself.
Wait a minute.
Wait.
Let me start over. Sorry. I know I'm not qualified, guys, but I'm going to attempt to provide context. I'm going to fail because Neil Mohan says I can't do this, but I'm the little engine that could. I can't tell you. I think that white people aren't understanding the inherent fears of black people. I want to make it clear that black people aren't a monolith, and I am only speaking for myself. But for me, what you as my white partner, he's speaking to his girlfriend here, but what you as my white partner need help to see is that all of the typical fears that I have a black person, I think it means as a black person, trying to operate in society are magnified during this. I.e., will I get fair treatment by the healthcare system if I get sick? Can I depend on our healthcare system to take care of me the way they take care of others? And she responds, including me? Yes, including you. If you call an ambulance and you go to the hospital, you have a basic assumption that you will be helped and you will get treatment. Remember, guys, hospitals are out to kill black people.
Yes, even all the black doctors and nurses, they're all in on it too.
Let's see. Gulf City Cult of Krill, thank you. X to doubt. I know. I honestly believe they had this conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Given the mindset of the original speaker, I believe that she would be partnered with someone who believes this stuff. What she says next. If we both get sick and have to go to the hospital, we will likely have different outcomes, even though we are both professionals in our early 30s without pre-existing conditions. Was that a question? No. And then he responds, it's not just the hospitals. It is not surprising to me that we are hearing about testing potential medicines in Africa, in New Orleans, and Detroit, because there is a long history of using black people as lab rats.
Okay.
Yeah, guys, coronavirus, the new Tuskegee experiments, just so you know. And I worry about the side effects of experimental treatments and vaccines. I worry that even if they are proven safe, and we know that vaccines are safe and need to be taken by large groups of people to be effective, I worry because I have family members already saying they won't take them because they don't trust the industry or the government. Wasn't the first trial of a vaccine in was it Oregon or something? And it was some white lady.
I don't know.
I thought I saw a story on that. First trial vaccine for coronavirus or something. I think it was either Washington or Oregon, one of the two. Anyway, what other differences do you see between white and black responses to this virus? I don't know. Can you guys guess?
I just watched a house party with black people filling the house to the point of bursting, and just walking past another person was damn near impossible. So, have you seen white people doing that? Because I haven't.
His response, I want to say something specifically on the topic of face masks. Okay, well, I'll get to that in a second. We'll move on. Thank you, Johnny Hellcat. What seems to be the problem? The sniffles? Sorry, dude, you're black. You got to go. That's apparently that is what is happening in Louisiana.
Yeah, you can skip this part, Scribe.
Why is that?
Because we already know.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yes, because wearing a mask and being black means that the cops are going to,
they're going to kill you on sight.
Yeah, exactly.
But why? Considering the pandemic has been going on for how many months now?
For us, since February, so almost 3. Thereabouts.
So by now, the death count of black people just randomly gunned down at grocery stores, streets, gas stations, at work, it's probably astronomical right now. Like, at least 50% of the black population should be dead because cops just can't stop shooting them every time they see masks.
All right, I'm going to read this last one.
The doctor, they can't get help, so yeah, they all die.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, if they go out with a mask, they'll get shot and killed. They go to a hospital, they'll be given poison. All right. I'm skipping down to the end. She says, what would you say to white partners who are trying to be cognizant of this? I know I look to you for reassurance that things are going to be okay, that we are going to be okay, and it has been hard for both of us that you can't give or accept reassurances that you don't feel are true. How can I do better?
Wow.
What a sad, sad relationship. Thank you, Gamer Valine. Morning, guys. Listening while I tell stupid people on Facebook why masks don't do anything. Had to get on the laptop. Going to need a keyboard for this. Stay safe. And his response, I think what I would tell white partners or white people talking to black people that are their friends or family members. Wait, white people have black friends? Wait, is that... Sorry?
Said even family members.
Is that it's a natural feeling to look at anyone they love for support and reassurance. Partnerships are going to be hard right now, and we are all doing our best. But I would also say you are getting a taste of the everyday fear and danger that is just our existence.
Could you imagine a person who, like, has been disabled for a long time? They maybe they didn't have use of their legs for a while because of a war and somebody came into the hospital and now they have been in an accident, and the dude's like, yeah, how does it feel to be like me? I've been dealing with this long before you. Like, what how would you look at a person like that outside of just like what the fuck, dude? Like, really? Like, who gives a shit? Like, why does this person have to take your verbal abuse because you were crippled way longer than they were? I don't understand that.
We lost Scribe.
Oh, did he? Oh, yeah, he just disappeared. Oh, there he is.
Now,
Welcome back.
can you hear me?
Yes,
Oh,
Hello?
this sucks.
but there's
Shit.
Oh, yeah, okay. Monkey, did you hear any of that?
I heard all of it, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like, what would you say to that person if you were present for that conversation? Like, what would your response be?
Look, I've kind of had that exact situation
Hello?
with Irate Bear. I've been
Hello?
dealing with what I'm going through for 4 years now.
Hello?
And
Yes.
hello. Oh, we lost him again. But anyway, and Bear just, had the MS strike him. And mine wasn't like, how you like it now, bitch? I was like, damn, dude, I'm so sorry that's happening to you. You know why? Because I have empathy, because I have actually gone through it. Fucking dick. Who wrote this shit? Chat can hear Scribe. We keep getting little bits and pieces of him.
Yeah, like, I heard him. I heard him say hello every time, but he can't hear us.
But it does seem a little slow when it comes in.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that I don't know, man. And this is why I say, like, you know, for some reason, activist-y types are like some of the worst people I know.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
I can hear you, even though there's
Even though there's what?
Well, there was a delay before, and we could hear you.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't talk, because you guys were talking and not hearing me, and then I couldn't have a conversation. So, do you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. We'll see if that's not a lag or not. I can't tell. Cody Fry, thank you. I'm not even convinced this was a real conversation. Sounds very, and then everybody clapped to me. Now, I believe it. I honestly believe it. Like I say, given the opening gambit of the author, I can believe that that's her partner talking and that she's that self-hating.
Oh, yeah.
And thank you, Nick. As a half black, half Latino man, I found people like this to be really FS.
Fucking stupid.
Oh, maybe fucking stupid. Just saying. Well, yes. The self-pity on the part of the lady, and I'm not speaking for everybody, but I'm speaking for everybody.
Yes. The inherent suffering. Inherent. We're not a monolith, by the way, but we all are doing this thing.
Yeah.
I love how
now you. Yeah. Go ahead.
He starts off like, this is how we all feel. By the way, this isn't how we all feel. What?
Yeah.
Science.
You see, guys, just being black is like living under a pandemic every day.
It is. It absolutely is.
Okay, well, we're at the top of the hour, guys. Sorry about all the technical difficulties that will be occurring for all I know. I can't tell because there still seems to be a delay. But we're going to move on to YouTube time. I'll go first to get mine out of the way, and then I'll let the other guys talk. I did a TEDx today. It was a different one than I would usually do. I actually was interested in finding out about the subject because the speaker was a member, or is a member, of Extinction Rebellion, the Looney Tunes, in a lot of ways, activist group for climate change. And from the title of the presentation, my expectation was that he was going to talk about the organization and what it does. And even if it was something biased and on the inside, that I'd learn something. Except at no point in the course of the entire presentation does he actually talk with any detail about the organization, either what it does, who's in it, its accomplishments, nothing. He just talks about all of the same talking points of, henny penny, the sky is falling stuff from, the environmental warnings of climate change and greenhouse gases and everything that I've been hearing since I was 6 years old. And how everything's going to... And at one point he said, even if all the governments of the world did what we're asking them to do right now, it wouldn't change anything. And I'm like, then why are you bothering? It's very odd conversation, very odd presentation. It was a little infuriating because I was just like, he didn't give us a point. He didn't give us anything to sink my teeth into, and I was hoping for that. So, but maybe that's in and of itself something beneficial. I don't know. But anyway, so there was that. I have a couple other TEDx's prepped and ready to go when I have the opportunity. Might not have one tomorrow. Depends on how my weekly phone conference goes with the company stuff, but we'll see. And aside from that, that's all I got. Satsu, what have you been up to?
I didn't do much today because today was... like I said, it was boring and uneventful. I did a lot of sleeping and playing with Aaliyah. She was being a weirdo today because that's what she does. We bought her some freeze-dried yogurt things or whatever. They're basically like candy for her or whatever. We give it to her and it dissolves and, she can eat it and you don't have to worry about her choking or anything like that. What she started doing is she will growl at you when she wants to. And then when you give her one, as soon as it gets close to her mouth, she's like, and then you'll put it in her mouth. She's like, I'm like, oh my God. And she loves the banana ones. We bought her like some, there was like strawberry ones or whatever, but those are whenever she eats those, she makes like a weird face because I think those are sour. I haven't tried them. I probably should, but I haven't tried them. But it's so funny now because she's like I said, she's starting to eat. One thing that's interesting about her is though she refuses to put anything in her mouth herself. Like, you know how kids are like known for that? Like you give them something, they put it in their mouth or whatever. Or if you give them food, at least something they can recognize as food, then they'll try to eat it. No, like she won't. No matter how bad she wants it, you can put it in her mouth and she'll open her mouth, but you put it in her hand, she'll just play with it. She won't eat it. I'm like, that is so weird. I don't get it. That is very strange. But that's my baby. So that's pretty much the extent of my day. We played Fallout 76 last night. I had to cut it a little short because yesterday was kind of hectic.
Leah was on, you guys, and she was fucking amazing.
Yeah, she was. If you guys, just for that, like only for that, about what time did I have to go get her? About halfway through, Monkey.
Yeah, about
an hour in, I think. You guys get
about right,
yeah. You guys get to hear her in the background, and she was in like I don't know what was going on with her yesterday, man, but she had a lot to say. So if you guys want to just hear that, you can go check out the stream from last night because that's pretty much the later half of that stream. And that's it. That's all I did today.
All right, Monkey, how about you?
Well, I did a monkey in the morning, and it was a fun one. Me and Jack talked for quite a while. I don't remember any of it, guys. The only thing I remember is I still feel guilty about not doing one the day before. So, yeah. And, yeah, played with Satsu and Aaliyah last night, so that was a lot of fun.
Oh,
talked about aliens. Yeah. We talked about the Navy releasing the airplane footage from it's been out in the public for years anyway. They finally released it officially. And so, yeah, we talked about aliens for a while. It was a lot of fun.
all right. Well, then, we can move on to fucketry time. I've got a couple of things. Headline from the New York Times. In On Tech, Shira Ovid, whoever that is, speaks with Taylor Lorenz, whoever that is, about how influencers are shaping our habits even during the coronavirus pandemic. And I said, influencers are a scam. That's all they are. The idea of influencers, it's a scam.
I'm an influencer.
Yeah, I'm an influencer. I've influenced people to join me in brain-rotting TEDx talks. I don't take any joy in that, but it's happened. I apologize to you all. Yeah. Let's see. Chris Eliza tweeted this out today, a video about why Trump's medical advice is dangerous, and his comment on his tweet is, Donald Trump, still not a medical doctor. And my reply was, Chris Eliza, still not a journalist.
Ooh, well played.
Ooh. I also repitched my idea to Netflix of a Florida Man series with the Florida Man poster I made about, 2 years ago now? And I'm just saying, Netflix, I got a limited anthology series in mind for this. Be very easy. Like I said, hey, Netflix, I'm telling you, give me a budget and the run of a writer's room. It'll be epic. Can't be any worse than insert J random Netflix original here. Because really, whoa, holy cow. Somebody was speed racing out there. Yeah, 90% of Netflix originals are just garbage. Just garbage. I don't even know how they get the money to make those things sometimes. And then occasionally, you've got things like The Last Kingdom, which is great. Or Ozark. There's always about like 2 or 3 diamonds in all that rough. Seriously, give me. I don't need that much money. As much money as you spend on those things, don't need that much. I've never produced a thing before in my life, so I can't be any worse than some of the people you give money to make movies on Netflix. I'm just saying. What else? Oh, some lady tweeted out a short 6-second video of her on an airplane, filming from her seat in economy class. And she said, well, silly me thinking that an airline would adhere to social distancing guidelines. Currently aboard a nearly full American Air flight, and I've never felt less safe or cared for in my entire life. And it's people sitting on a plane.
Take a bus, right?
Yeah, it's an airliner. It's seats right next to each other. And I said, seriously, airlines need to be strapping every other passenger to the outside of the plane. Am I right? I don't know how you handle being victimized like that. And then the Post local, Washington, D.C.'s premier source for area breaking local news, had this let them eat cake moment when they put out a tweet today that said, the key to escaping lockdown? Sleep in your guest room and pretend it's a trip. And I said, turns around, looks for a guest room, turns back. Yeah, I guess I'm out of luck. You know, all of us that have guest rooms.
Yeah.
And the last thing I'll bring up is Chat Mort tweeted out a picture of her, two pictures of herself today, showing off a T-shirt that she apparently likes a lot. But that's not what everybody was paying attention to. That's all I'll say. I'll just leave the mystery there. That's all. There you go. Satsu, what do you got?
So there's this picture circulating on Facebook that says, I'm voting for Joe Biden on November 3rd. I will crawl over broken glass to vote out the most corrupt president in American history and replace him with a decent, sane, moral, and ethical man. Who's with me?
Uh-huh.
I got a problem with a couple of these words.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I was just looking at an article that says, what was the headline? 7 women have now said Joe Biden made them feel uncomfortable with affectionate touching. I love that wording. I love that. They made him, Joe Biden made them feel uncomfortable with affectionate touching. It's affection. It's not inappropriate. It's affectionate when it's and they have all the people, all 7 of them listed here with the name and their story. It's from Slate. So I dropped this into that Post's feed just for shits and giggles. We'll see how that plays out.
Isn't it funny how with Biden it's all they just felt uncomfortable?
Yeah, they felt uncomfortable, and he was just being affectionate.
Being affectionate. Come on, y'all.
Affectionate.
Yes, but here's the thing: when Trump was talking about those chicks that allows him to grab body, they weren't feeling uncomfortable. They allowed him to do it, and he wasn't being affectionate either. But maybe he was. Maybe he was. Maybe that was just Trump being affectionate, grabbing women.
That's how he shows affection.
Yeah, like we could spin that shit too. The only difference is he was talking about willing participants, who, might I add, don't have any current complaints against Trump right now, because I don't know if any of those women who accused Trump said that he grabbed them by the as far as I know.
Well, again, most of the complaints against Trump, most of them are he tried to kiss me, and isn't that him just being affectionate and that made them uncomfortable?
Well, that's most of Biden's situations, or at least the stuff that we've physically seen ourselves on video. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know. Well, I do know, but I like to pretend like I don't know because I want to be just as insane as everybody else because I don't want to feel alone. A lot of people are mad at remember Mike DeWine? Remember how much traction he's been getting lately for being an authority on coronavirus shit. They're mad at him now. He's pissed people off because his response to the mask situation was, "We've heard you, but we will not mandate that retail customers wear masks, but we will strongly recommend it." And people are pissed. He went from hero to zero in like a week. That was fast. So that's been going on. People have been sharing that and getting all pissed off. Apparently, Trump got sued for blocking stimulus check to Americans married to immigrants, although it just says immigrants. I'm pretty sure it was specified if they were married to undocumented immigrants, but I don't know. I don't know that for sure, but it just says immigrants. So maybe I can send that to MSS News and we can talk about that one, because I don't know the full details on that one. What else was I looking at? There was something else. Let me see here. Oh, there was a headline. I gotta find the headline. And the way that this headline was worded just blew my freaking mind. Let me see if I can find it here. Oh, this is from the Washington Post. It says Trump's allies highlights new claims regarding allegations against against Biden.
Yeah.
That was the article title. Not new victims spoke out. Nothing like that. Trump's allies highlighted it.
Well, did you read the article?
The only thing I could find was the screenshot.
Oh, yeah, I read the article sent to me last night.
Mm-hmm.
The great part of it is that it starts out by saying that the Trump allies are focusing on the neighbor who came out,
mm-hmm.
and that's why it all blew up. And they go, by the way, yeah, it did come out over the weekend that the Larry King interview the Larry King call came out. Like, yeah, the thing that everybody talked about, the whole reason,
right?
The neighbor didn't come out until this morning or last night,
right?
But no, yeah,
no, it's only Trump's allies. It is insane. It is absolutely insane. They're only focusing on, like, if the media does even talk about it, they're only talking about the one person. They never mention the 7 allegations or 7 other allegations. I'm baffled by this shit, man. It is hard to believe, like, sit here and look at this and believe that all this is taking place the way it is, but it is. And I am blown away at the fact that this exists. But that's my fucking treat for tonight.
And now it's Monkey's turn to drop out.
Hello?
Oh.
Hello, you dropped out for a second there.
Oh, I was wondering why everything got real quiet.
Uh-oh. And now your avatar is the same color as you.
Avatar is blank now. Boy, is this Streamlabs? Or is it maybe I can't tell what's going on. Anyway, Monkey, you got any? Oh, great.
No, I don't have anything tonight. The only thing I had was that YouTube motherfucker, and we talked about that. So,
gotcha.
All right. So is Monkey out of sync for you too, or is it just me?
I can't tell. I don't know if he's out of sync. Monkey, can you hear me?
Great. I hear you.
Okay. He responded to me immediately. So,
can you hear me?
Yes.
That was a bit of a.
Anyway, when I heard you, so
yeah. So there's a lag. Great. Wunderbar. Well, with that, let's talk some more about how we can't create context, because I'm still on that too. Monkey, tell us more about how we can't create context.
Well, if they said we can't break the news, okay, maybe I can't because I don't go out there. I'm not pounding the pavement in my reporter's shoes. But when it comes to actually discussing what's going on, like Satsu was just doing with the whole Joe Biden thing, I take CNN, the New York Times. These are 2 major news sources in the United States that didn't even cover the fucking story for 3 weeks.
Yeah. Refused to talk about it.
And then when the New York Times came out and they gave us context for why they didn't. Do you guys remember that stupid shit?
Mm-hmm.
Part of it was because, other people are already reporting on it, and we thought we could give it better context. It's absolutely asinine what that man said. And Susan, if you're listening, and I know you're not, you need to have a sit down with him And if you agree with what he said, both of y'all need to be out of the company.
Yeah, that's some crazy shit. That is.
Hey,
This guy again? What was his position within YouTube?
oh shit, let me find it again. He's a big muckety muck.
His position sounds important.
He's Chief Product Officer.
Chief Product Officer. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. When everything started to go wobbly on me, I turned everything off.
Gotcha.
So I had to pull it back up. Chief Product Officer. And yeah, for somebody that high up in the company to be out there going, look, our creators are kind of stupid, really.
Yeah.
If they're talking about the news, they're kind of stupid. Man, I realize that YouTube wants to be taken more seriously, but again, sucking up to your competitors, sucking up to people like NBC or this was it wasn't a full-on interview on some site. What was it? What's that place where they do this stuff? Zoom. It was a Zoom interview. And I haven't been able to track it down. I really want to see it. Pincalo over on the Streamlabs, thank you so much. Nobody knows what to do at this point. All of the Apoco zombie demic movies, the timeline always skips ahead by at least a month, always passing the government collapse. Fair enough. If you think it's a zombie movie, yeah. But no, I spend a good deal of my time, both on this show and on the other show, and if I, do a third show that day, talking about this stuff. And you can agree or disagree with the stuff I say, but I feel like I at least back up what I say with actual things that have happened. And your valid news sources, your reliable sources, that's Stelter's show. They get caught all the time lying their asses off. Caught, and not just being wrong, fucking lying. Fucking lying. CNN still has reportedly an anonymous source on the Russia investigation that proves Donald Trump was a bad person. We ain't never seen it. They said this out loud. Never seen it. I don't make weird claims like that. And again, if you wanted to say, look, you guys don't have the ability to go in there and dig for the dirt, you're right, I don't. But if you're talking about discussing it and providing specifically context, yes, I do. Go fuck yourself.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
I was going to say, take away the actual investigative aspect of what you would hope for journalism, etc. We're effectively different than any pundit show.
Nope.
All of their experts and consultants and everything else, all they're doing is giving their opinions, oftentimes giving their opinions on things they're not technically qualified to speak on, but just because they're there, or senior political correspondent, blah, blah, blah. And what is politics and political analysis? It's opinion. It's gamesmanship. It's your best guess. If Chris Cillizza has taught us nothing else, that's all it is. We can do that. Hell, we've done it better than Chris at some points. And he gets paid God knows how much, and he's got an editor-at-large title on him. So this YouTube guy, those guys sitting in their basements, like Monkey said, people sitting in their basements with a camera pointed at their face is the foundation of frickin' YouTube. It's not the big shows. It's not people with the big budgets. It's people like you and me and everybody else who got 5 minutes of fame by speaking their minds out on a platform that was supposed to be made for anybody and everybody. But now, death by 1,000 cuts. It's becoming the most elitist, just network television all over again. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. The nerve of that motherfucker.
Yeah. And just imagine how much richer we'd be making YouTube if they actually monetized our channels again. Sinatra and Dankula and Monkey and Satsu and me. Yeah, wouldn't that be great?
Oh,
but no,
dude.
we're just people in basements, so who cares?
Right.
When I go to turn on my monetization now, I have to do the self evaluation of what I'm going to be talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I get a yellow circle anyway, I have it reviewed, and they're supposed to tell me what I did wrong.
Oh.
Hate speech, being hateful towards people of different classes due to natural things. Like hate speech.
Hate speech.
Can you give me a timestamp, motherfucker?
Probably that part where you said that women shouldn't vote.
I've never said women shouldn't vote. I take that back. I did say it, but then I caught myself. I'm like, that's not right, because I do think women should vote.
You said it once. You said it once. That's enough.
I took it back and corrected it. So,
but you can't do that.
Well, I've corrected it many, many times.
Yeah, it's like James Gunn trying to delete his old tweets. Just doesn't work, monkey. Sorry. Doomed forever. You said it once. It's permanent record.
What I did say is that their vote shouldn't count.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, but we'll still come on here, until they, I guess, literally kick us off. Because honestly, at this point, coming on here doing the TEDx stuff, these are the few things that are keeping some semblance of sanity in the monotony that is being stuck in my apartment every day. Starting to wear on me. I don't know if I'm not going any crazier than I used to be, I don't think, but it is a little straining at times. It's also maybe kind of I don't know, introspective about what am I doing with my life? Here I am in this constant routine of monotony. Not that it's any different than before, except I'm not leaving the house to go to the office every day. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's an interesting experience. I mean, it's one of those things that how many totally sort of society earth-shattering events have we lived through at this point in our lives, between the fall of the Berlin Wall and 9/11 and now this, and you can name any other dozen other things. It's really weird. And I remember when I was young, I'd hear my grandparents talk about the Great Depression and the Dust Bowl and stuff like that in World War II, and just think about how crazy a world it must have been back then. And here we are sort of living through modern equivalents of those things. And it just seems, I don't know. Does it just seem sort of, one more thing? Or is it just me?
It seems that way for me, definitely, because of, I'm always kind of isolated from the world anyway. So it's business as usual. And sometimes I have a hard time really grasping the fact that, we're in this situation. And I always wonder, when Squishy leaves the house, does she get any of that? Even though she doesn't really go very far, because I paid attention to a lot of stuff, going back and forth from work and catching the bus every day and all that stuff, whatever, back when I was doing that. But now I'm just like, I don't give a fuck what's going on out there. I'm in the house. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Yeah. So it's interesting.
Yeah. I was wondering what kind of perspective, if I'm having a healthy perspective on everything, or more of or if I'm just sort of mentally insulating myself from some of the realities of things as time goes on, or between 9/11 and the Iraq War and everything else at the time, and the fear that came about because of that. I've just been calloused, maybe, or immune to crisis or shock or something. I mean, admittedly, in every situation, I've been kind of insulated from it, this circumstance. I didn't have a family member who went off to war. I didn't know anybody who died in 9/11. So far as I know, nobody that in my immediate circle has gotten ill and or died of COVID and so on. So maybe I can still sort of mentally separate myself from the reality because it technically hasn't touched upon me yet. Maybe something like that. I don't know. But anything you want to say, Monkey?
No.
Well, last thing I'll add is I did the other day. I was actually sitting down and thinking about a lot of the people that I've been talking to and just how really angry and hateful a lot of people have been when talking about the COVID and stuff. And I actually sat back and thought for a second, I could literally be talking to somebody who lost, a person, or somebody who was really affected by this and lost their job. And thinking about it from that aspect, I should probably be careful at, some of the stuff that I say, or, or just the way in which I talk to people, because that could be the case. Like, it's not affecting me like it's affecting them, So I'm like, maybe I should dial it back a little bit, because I'll be going ham on Facebook.
The story today that kind of made me go, was, and I don't think it's on CNN now, but I think it was a doctor in New York. And the headline was, at least the partial headline that I saw when I got up this morning and looked on the CNN app that I have on my tablet. It said something like New York area COVID doctor dies ... And I was like, oh no, is it another somebody who died of the infection or something? And I click on the story, it's like dies of suicide.
Oh yeah, the headline I saw actually had the suicide in it. So
well, I mean, the way that the app works, the headlines get truncated at a certain point. So it was there. It was just in the little app window. It didn't show the full headline, and so it was. And worries about this before, whereas like or some official or something has just done themselves in, and it's just like it's super sad. It's super just what a waste, And then this is who had apparently caught it earlier this year and got past it and recovered, and she was still working with patients and stuff, and then I guess overwhelmed, and she just did herself in, and it's just like, God, that is just all sorts of tragic, just ridiculous tragic. Wish people wouldn't do that. It's like, anyway, sorry to bring it down. It just came to mind in the whole course of things, but we're at the bottom of the hour, and so Chad, it's your time. If you can hear me, if I'm not roboting or fading out in some fashion, because I don't know. If you have questions for us, like, and there's an example. Yes, Monkey.
I was just saying you sound good right now.
Yeah, Monkey and I are completely out of sync by about 3 or 4 beats. So if you have questions for us, please put plenty of chat marks in the chat. If you have statements for us to consider, please put plenty of statement marks after those. If you don't know what I'm talking about, well, ask your chat friend. Your chat friend will tell you. Tech Alpaca, do you think it would be fun to come up with a very creative conspiracy theory that a lot of people believe and watch people fall for it all over Twitter? We're not 4chan. Are we? No.
I don't know. Are we?
I think it could be fun. I think it would be more sad though, because you'd be like, shit, I can't believe people fell for this.
Yeah. I don't know. Let's see. What would be a easy to fall for, quote unquote, conspiracy theory at this point in time?
Oh God.
It has to be Donald Trump. Donald Trump said, actually, you know what? Here's a game. Find something Donald Trump said today and take it in the most ridiculous, out of context fashion you can. And let's see what you come up with.
Oh.
It can't be a quote. Whatever you say about what he said can't be a quote. It can only involve what he said taken to its most ridiculous, worst nightmare scenario interpretation or transmogrification. There's the game. I mean, CNN does it all the time. We can do it too because we don't have context.
I actually saw. I think was it the Babylon Bee? It was one of those parody sites where they said Trump endorses water in light of the fact that X amount of people die from water every year, and they was like, here's the kicker. You know what hides in water? Sharks. Trump will die by sharks.
Right.
It's like, yep, that sounds about right.
Okay, now Massive Dynamics has an excellent idea. Lords of the Night, which one of you is going to create a YouTube channel called Authoritative Sources? That's actually an excellent idea. You guys should do that. You guys should do that. Or we should create a little club called Authoritative Sources, like our own little network of channels, like Sinatra and us and your boy Pat and Weibo. We call ourselves it's like a superhero team, the Authoritative Sources.
That's right.
Yeah, there you go. Let's see. Dangerous Spaces. Trump allies bring up developments in Biden case. So the media is admitting they are not doing their job and someone has to do it for them. That's one way to look at it, I guess.
That
Sounds like a good assessment to me.
I mean, CNN couldn't even be bothered to research their own archival footage for a claim of accusation. The Intercept had to do that for them, or whoever it was. It was so bizarre. And then it took them another like a week or two to actually say something about it. Harvest Marvis, did you see Justin Amash is now officially declared running? Yep, we talked about that at the top of the show. I don't think I'm alone in thinking that's a bit odd, the timing, and that he has practically zero chance of doing anything or getting anywhere with it. So, I mean, I'm happy to be surprised, but it seems like a waste of time.
I'd agree with you there.
I'd be aside from just like sounding all, gung ho presidential. I'd be curious to know what his real intention is, because if he actually believes he has a shot at this point under these circumstances, I would question his fitness to be president. I mean, I don't know how to put it. Let's see. Elvacaro 555. I went fishing for catfish today and kept on catching big snapping turtles instead. Did you all know that snapping turtles like hot dogs?
Yes, actually.
I think I'd seen that somewhere before. That somebody used hot dogs as bait for turtles.
Snapping turtles like anything that you put in front of their mouth.
Could be the case, yeah. Does it smell like meat? I will bite it. That's why you got to keep your fingers away from them.
They will fuck you.
Sorry?
I said snapping turtles will fuck you up if you are not careful.
Yes. Motto Winter, oh lords, would you all try a leg of goat cooked rotisserie style with a slice of a Gouda cheese wheel and a kettle of milk tea? Milk tea? What is milk tea? Is that just tea with milk in it?
That's pretty much exactly what it is.
Okay. Well, I like lamb, okay. Or sorry, goat. I guess it's goat. Well, I don't know if I've ever had goat. I don't know if there's a difference. But anyway, I like Gouda. Oh, smoked Gouda cheese is one of my favorites. Smoked Gouda cheese. Like if I could afford to have it more often, it'd eat pepper jacks and smoked Gouda cheese. I would not get rid of goldfish, but I would intersperse it with some smoked Gouda cheese. But that stuff's expensive and really rich. Sometimes a bit too much for my tummy, but I love that stuff. Anyway, would you guys have goat and Gouda cheese and milk tea?
Lots me at goat.
No. Goat.
Right.
Check your logic. Donald Trump has come up a few times on Quiplash as shown in Jack Gunsky's streams after Lords of the Night? Question mark? I don't know. Has he? Or was that some attempt at me doing an ad for Jack Gunsky's channel after this with Quiplash?
Sounded like an ad.
Oh, you failed. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to tell anybody that there's Quiplash on Jack Gunsky's channel after this.
Yeah, why would we do that?
Yeah, you guys, you can't fool me. I'm smarter than that. I'm just not authoritative. Let's see. Angela Arega says, should just call chat authoritative sources? Well, for the MSS News you send us, that's pretty authoritative source to me. Yeah, authoritative sources. Good idea. I mean, it reminds me of Familiar with the Matter. I should do another one of those. I'm not sure who or what I should do it on. I was going to, Ferg, World from Ferg.
Yeah.
He works in a hospital doing having to deal with COVID stuff, and I was like, dude, I'd like to interview you about what you have to do and what's going on there and everything. And he's like, I'd love to. I'm too busy. Like, okay. So at some point, though, maybe I'll get Ferg on and talk to him about that. Dangerous Spaces. I came in late. Did you guys mention the Politico article where they had not contacted the Bank of China when they wrote a story claiming China held one of Trump's current debts? No, we didn't read that story.
No, but I did hear about that, though.
A media outlet not doing research before publishing a story? You don't say.
It was around the time when they were trying to really push strong that that Trump is somehow indebted to China. That's why he keeps saying all that nice shit about him. When they were pushing that Trump has been really nice to China about this COVID thing. That was one of the reasons that they gave as to why.
Let's see.
Yeah, Yeah, I saw an article about it a little bit ago, a couple of weeks, maybe a week ago, where they're like, Bank of China is holding all this debt and it's coming due soon.
Oh my God, Squeetus.
Oh, I had my headphones on. I couldn't hear.
Tack Alpaca, who is the oldest person either of you know, have ever known who still lives with their parents? Prince Charles.
You don't know Prince Charles.
Well, not personally, no. But I know of him.
Oh.
Everybody knows of him.
Oh, yeah? I don't.
You never heard of Prince Charles?
Nope, not until just
then how do you know I don't know him?
because I don't.
That is a bizarre set of rules.
You can't know things Satsu don't know.
Hashtag science.
Hashtag I don't understand what it's like because I'm white.
Well, you know, the better answer would have been, even if you did know and I don't, you stole that information from black people anyway. So by proxy,
yes,
taking my knowledge.
Right. Mr. Scott, is Trump an alien? Do you think he came off one of those UFOs like in the released videos? No, because then he'd be interesting. Let's see. Motto Winter. Oh, Lords, you are at a bar. Wait.
I'm not.
Lords, you are at bar. You are to be served by AOC, Elizabeth Warren, or a just released prisoner who brewed prison booze. Is that a question? Is that an option? What am I supposed to do with that one?
Are we being hypnotized?
Like, which one of those people would I want as a bartender, basically? Well, I mean, for whatever else she might be, she actually was a bartender, so I guess AOC. I wouldn't want to talk to her, but you know,
I've seen her make drinks. She's pretty decent at it.
Yeah, she's had some on-the-job training with mixing a drink. So of the three, I will trust AOC to mix a drink.
I've seen her read a recipe to make a margarita. No.
Oh, well. But what man has a margarita?
Me.
You have my sympathies.
He orders the mangarita.
Margarita. Yeah. Let's see. Margarita. Dangerous Ways of Politico said that the Bank of China contacted them after the initial story. They admitted they had not contacted the Bank of China to verify the original story. That's bizarre. I mean, I don't know if I trust any institution in China right now about anything, but all the same, if you're going to write a story about them, you should at least contact them for comment or verification or something. Angela Ariag, Scribe, was it three-sided coin you spoke to about financial planning? Unfamiliar with the matter. I'm reading The Richest Man in Babylon and might want to discuss notes when I finish. Yes, The Richest Man in Babylon. I was given that book after I graduated high school. I still have my copy somewhere. I don't remember all of it. I think you can find it free online at places. But yeah, the basic rules in that book, if you follow them actively and or in spirit as you proceed in life, you will be better off financially. It's got some very common sense stuff in there. It might sound a little, condescending in places, depending on how you read it, but it's not wrong. And the one that always stuck out to me is do not buy what you cannot afford. Sounds very simple. It's not always easy to adhere to, but if you keep that in mind, you'll be better off, amongst other things. As far as discussing notes, yes, it was three-sided coin. If you want to discuss financial planning, you're better off talking to him than you are me. I do what I can to not be dumb with my money, but I'm no expert. I'm certainly no expert. I mean, anyway. Let's see. Zeal Gold. Oh, Lords, for $1 million, would you spend 30 days with sporting a 90s hairstyle? Sporting a month for $1 million? Sure.
Yep.
That is probably the most untaxing $1 million question we've been asked, because hair can be recut and grow out again. So sure.
Yeah, whoever the person is providing the money for these things,
they're not very good with money.
Yeah. Massive Dynamics. Lords of the Night. Did you hear Trump said to drink dihydrogen monoxide that corrodes steel? Dihydrogen monoxide. Oh, water. I can do that too. See, I interpreted that. You see, I deciphered that because I'm smart.
That H2O.
Yes. Let's see. Frosted Glass Scribe. Can you interview a urologist and call the show Familiar with the Bladder? I can, conceivably. I probably won't.
That would be clever as fuck if you did, though.
Yeah, but now I can't do it because I didn't come up with it. I'd have to pay Frosted Glass royalties, and sure as hell that's not going to happen.
He ain't got no fucking...
What's wrong with Squeetus?
I don't know. She's a baby.
What? Okay, that's true. I guess that answers that. Hey, answer the question. Hey, I ask a stupid question, get it right in. I don't know. Never mind. You're used to babies crying. Used to babies crying, I guess is the thing.
No, it's squishy.
No, go ahead.
No, I said squishy's in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's crying. Let's see. Grand American. At what point does the picking and choosing of content make YouTube a publisher and not a platform? Ooh. Well, now that is an interesting question. I don't know. That I don't think they've hit that point yet necessarily, but once they do, that sets up a whole extra level of different legal things to come up with, doesn't it?
When they physically curate everything.
Yeah, which they will never do technically. Their algorithm does, so after a fashion, kind of are, sort of.
Well, the algorithm, a lot of people point to Section 230, and they miss the part about YouTube and all internet providers and services being allowed to make what are they called? Things, algorithms, parental controls, whatever you want to call it, that allows them to block things that they don't want on their site. That's in Section 230, guys. It's not just algorithm publisher versus a platform. They're allowed to do that. And people miss this part, and that's the part that lets them get away with all of the censorship that they do. It's in there, guys. Read it and learn what it actually means.
Thank you, Jaeger Pony. There are no royalties in the corner. Well, there won't be when I don't use Frosted Glass's idea. That's true. Dangerous Spaces. Did you guys see Biden seemingly fall asleep while receiving Clinton's endorsement? I didn't, but I could believe it.
Mm-hmm.
Angela says the person putting up the cash for the wagers should read The Richest Man in Babylon. Yeah. Well, obviously not a fan of that book. If it's like, will you do something stupid for $1 million? Yes. All right. I'm sorry.
Well, the only person I would say is the exception to that is probably Mr. Beast, because
I was just about to say Mr. Beast.
Yeah, he actually makes his money off of doing that, shockingly enough.
Which is just bizarre.
Yeah.
Just bizarre. It's such a reversal of things. Let's see. Motto Winter. Oh, Lords, what makes the squirrel go round?
What now?
A blender?
Well, that'll make what used to be a squirrel go around and round for a while, I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean, put a squirrel in a blender. It'll go around real quick. Let's see. Harvest Marvis. Did you see the vid of cartel and cops in Mexico paddling those who violate COVID lockdown measures? No. So, wait, the cartel and cops are spanking people who are behaving badly.
You know what? That might
That's-
not be what they meant.
That's the
I kind of hope that's what they meant.
yeah. If that's so, that's the mildest thing I can think of a cartel doing to someone that they're angry with. So
Normally they take their heads off.
yeah, or other things.
Even government sanctioned spankings.
Yeah, that would be something. Well, Biden be all over that. Zio go, oh lords, would you rather have arms covered in living metal, functional angel wings, or a healing factor that keeps you from dying? I'll take that last one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. I was thinking about that the other. I think I'd rather be invulnerable than immortal. Like I like to be lasting, but not I can't die.
Everlasting.
You know? Yeah, it's everlasting gobstopper. Sort of like the Tom Hanks character in Green Mile. Like just live a really long time, but not be like I'm never going to die, and every time I get blowed up, I'll reform or something. I think I prefer that.
Yeah. I hear your perspective on things changes dramatically when you're immortal.
Yeah. I've read plenty of books about like people sort of gaming out. Let's see what would happen to like usually a vampire or someone who's like lived forever. Like months go by and they don't even notice, and they get tired of things and they watch everything. Everything becomes boring and old hat. Nothing's new and nothing's exciting anymore. I don't know if I'd want to get to that point. You know, not to say that I'm living some kind of like exciting, adventurous lifestyle right now, but generally speaking, you know. Jack Unsky says, "Thank you for the ad, by the way, Scribe. I appreciate it." What are you talking about? I wouldn't do an ad for you for $1 million. $1.001 million, maybe. Right. Peter Allman, oh lords, would you rather have a handmaid of ham or an armpit that dispensed sunscreen? Now that's on par with most of these questions. So I go for the armpit because at least then I'd have a product I could sell.
Well, what if it does it though whenever you lift your arms up, like it's involuntary, like and let you have no control over it?
Oh, happens. Like I raise my hand in class and just spurt sunscreen all over the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe not that. Alyssa doesn't lie. I mean, how do you know you'll get super depressed if you're immortal if no one has done it? What if you reach enlightenment at some point?
When everyone you know has died repeatedly, every friend you make you're still around.
There's an interesting movie I recommend anybody. It's called I believe it's called Man from Earth. And it's basically, I mean, it's a film, but it's almost like it may well have been a stage play because it all basically takes place in one house where a whole bunch of friends get together for a visit because their really good friend is leaving town and probably not coming back. I don't want to give anything away about it. You might already have an inkling based on when I'm recommending this in the conversation, but if you can find a copy out there somewhere, it's called Man. You might recognize some of the actors because they're very famous character actors, and most of them have been on Star Trek, or one of the Star Treks. But yeah, watch that. Listen to the thoughts expressed in there. It's very meditation on several different sites, and you might find it interesting. Let's see. Mr. Scott says, if you could have been in any TV show, one would it be? Like just as an actor or like living in that world? What do you mean? Because if I could have been in any TV show, I would have been like a background character in The Shield or something, just for like an episode. I'd be happy as hell.
In both cases, Star Trek TNG.
Oh yeah. Oh, I didn't know you were gone.
And I got a squeeze.
Oh, can you put her on the camera?
Hold on, let me see if
we have to see. Swedish.
Oh,
I don't
damn.
get to see.
My light bulb blew up. So I can't.
Oh, never mind then.
Sorry. I forgot about that shit.
Data Wasteland. Scribbles, you ignoring me? Yes. That was easy. Oh, wait. Scribe Light, did you guys talk about Mark Cuban nodding to the possibility of running for office? No, we didn't talk about it. And whatever. Mark Cuban. Sure, he's got as much chance as Trump. Go ahead, Mark Cuban.
He doesn't. See, we had this with what's his name in New York, rich guy, Bloomberg. Just because you have a shit ton of money doesn't mean you have an excellent chance of becoming president. Trump is a very special case. A very special case. A man who's been in the news, in our media, in our conscience for 40, 50 years. Cuban doesn't have that. Bloomberg doesn't have that. Perot never had that. Yeah, you go out there, you can spend a whole bunch of money, but you're just going to waste money.
Are you tickling that baby?
I'm actually not. I'm just imitating her. She keeps like flicking her hands up and down, like across her lips or whatever. And every time I imitate her, she starts laughing.
Oh, squeeze.
You hear her laugh? So cute. She be cackling. Old lady. Silly butt. You need to be asleep with your pretty self.
Nah.
Go to bed.
No.
Sit in. Go to bed. Go to bed. Go to bed. She like, shut up, boo. I ain't going to bed.
Peter Allman, for the upcoming Lords of the Night movie, what would be the plot and what merchandising would you approve? Well, the plot would be us meeting in person for the first time and then having to fight ISIS.
The god or the
goddess.
Okay.
Yeah, the goddess Isis would show up, make it very confusing. I don't know why. We'd have to get to that part. But actually, you know what? Here's what it is. Unbeknownst to us coming together in the same room is actually fulfilling an ancient prophecy.
Ah.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's the ticket. And then in this happening, it aligns certain forces that allow the goddess Isis to return to Earth. And here's the twist. So Isis is actually a benevolent goddess, right? She's actually supposed to be a good goddess. But here's the thing. She's crazy benevolent. Like, I will cure the world of all evil. Except that what defines as evil in her eyes is anything that she thinks is bad. Right?
It's
so
people can't give good commentary on news.
Right. Or like, somebody walks by a beggar on the street. They might otherwise be just a normal everyday person, but in this modern world, we wouldn't think much of it really. But in her mind, that is a great sin, and she like vaporizes those people. And then we have to stop ISIS from being too good.
That's
by being shitty people to her or something. I don't know.
That's interesting because it seems like a god like that would punish the dude who walked past them, but also punish the beggar for asking for money.
Yeah. Kill them both.
Both of you must
the weaknesses of mortals.
Dude, that was kind of the story of Final Fantasy XIV, the Shadowbringers. That expansion was the heroes were so good at their job, essentially, that they inflicted that world with eternal light. So nighttime didn't exist anymore, and light creatures showed up to like destroy shit. Like the people there didn't know what nighttime was, because the good people, the imbalance was too strong. So they inflicted the world with like eternal light. So everything light to them was evil, and darkness was actually good. So I was like, that's pretty sweet. Shadowbringers was like the best expansion.
Let's see. Yeah, Isis was the goddess of life and magic, protected women and children, and healed the sick. So she was a good goddess. Let's see. Let's see. So, but here's the twist then. Okay, so in order to stop ISIS, right? In order to stop ISIS, we can't do it ourselves because we're just mortals, you know. So I end up having to help us petition Khonshu, the god of the moon, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we get the moon god on our side.
Lady
Oh,
Moon.
you know what? I just looked this up. Khonshu, which means the traveler or the wanderer. And what is the name of the painting from which I get my avatar? The Wanderer above the sea fog. It was foretold. But that, guys, we're at the top of the hour, and that's the end of the show with that revelation. Oh my gosh, everything is aligning. Some magic. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us today on this somewhat technically wonky show with late arrivals and out of syncs and all types of stuff. Hopefully, it'll be a one-time deal, but it won't be because this is live TV. Everybody, thank you for coming out. Moderators, thank you for keeping an eye on things, even though all of our audience is the best behaved in the world. Everyone who donated, thank you so much for your generosity. Appreciate it. And yes, hello, Squeamish. Happy to be. If you feel like it, maybe over on Jack Gunsky's channel after this, he's doing Quiplash or something, I think, maybe. I don't know why I'm saying that. Yeah. What are you guys up to? You're not gaming tonight, right?
No game stream tonight. Squishy's gonna go crazy if I do.
Okay.
I'm
Monkey,
taking the night
anything?
off. I will do a monkey in the morning eventually, but I don't know when.
All right. And tomorrow, guys, I may do a TED Excellence. Depends on work stuff, and I will let people know in Twitter. If you're not following us already on Twitter, please do so. You'll probably find out more about what's going on with our shows and our content there than waiting for YouTube to tell you about us. Twitter handles are in the description below. Anything else to mention before we split, guys?
Not that I can think of.
All right. Satsu?
No. Have a wonderful night, guys, and thank you for being awesome.
Yep. Monkey, Satsu, thank you for joining me as always.
Indeed.
What?
Okay, so never mind. Everyone, your lives make us sad, and we will see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
And I have my copy of Screw the Roses, Send Me the Thorns, the romance and sexual sorcery of sadomasochism. You don't have to say sadomasochism with the baby presents, okay?
She was laughing.
Hey, today's secret word is untwisted.
What was it?
Untwisted.
Untwisted.
Untwisted. That
Playtime must be
one
up.
word. Leaving enough untwisted for a handle. Well, see, I just gave you some context.